We've got breaking news to bring you here at the top of our Sunrise Smart Start, everyone. Nikki Haley has officially suspended her presidential campaign. At the very least, that is according to 3 people with direct knowledge of her decision and first reported by the Associated Press. This decision leaves former President Donald Trump as the last remaining major candidate for the 2024 Republican nomination. The former president had a big Super Tuesday with a few wins, currently on track to reach the necessary delegates to clinch that nomination later this month. This would be Trump's 3rd straight nomination for the Republican Party. A former high school teacher will spend the next 5 years behind bars after pleading guilty to child pornography charges. Aron Spitzer joining us live in the studio this morning with more on the deal reached with prosecutors. Aron.
Yes, Ian Milam, a former math teacher in the Spencerport district, was arrested last August after investigators say they traced 2 fake Snapchat accounts to his phone. Milam allegedly posed as a teenage boy engaging in sexually explicit talks with numerous underage girls, including some of his own students between the ages of 11 and 15 years old. During his plea agreement hearing Tuesday, Milam admitted to the judge, quote, "I absolutely knew it was wrong." When the judge asked why, Milam said it wasn't a mistake, it was a choice. He added that no matter what happens, he'll live with the consequences of what he's done. The U.S. attorney explains the change in charges against Milam in the plea deal.
He was originally charged with production of child pornography, and here in federal court that carries a 15-year mandatory minimum sentence. After meeting with the families, we determined that a plea reduction was appropriate in this case to resolve the case short of trial. So we agreed on the reduction to receipt of child pornography, which still carries a 60-month minimum sentence.
With the plea deal, Milam waived his right to an indictment and appeal, and under the new guidelines, Milam should face a sentence between 11 and 14 years behind bars. The defense is expected to submit a motion for a lesser sentence. He's scheduled to be sentenced June 27th. Michaela?
All right, thank you for that, Aron. The court hearing for 19-year-old Shalom Matthews has been postponed. Matthews, here on your screen, is that St. John Fisher University student accused of trying to kidnap and sexually assault a faculty member last week, and this led to a campus-wide shutdown, as News 8 reported. Matthews also faces stalking charges in a separate case in Brighton, expected to return to court April 25th. 2 Rochester teens currently in custody and connected to the deadly shooting of 31-year-old James Huff IV. Police do tell us that on April 23rd, 2023, Huff was shot multiple times, later dying in the hospital. Last week, 18-year-old Kylan Marbury and 16-year-old Al Oliver Jr. were charged with second-degree murder, along with criminal possession of a weapon and stolen property. At the time of their indictment, the 2 were already in custody on previous murder charges. Happening today, the former Macedon Police Chief Fabian Rivera will appear in court as well. Rivera resigned last November after he was arrested, and he is charged with driving while intoxicated. According to court documents acquired and reported by News 8, Macedon Police Sergeant Bridget Goodfriend and Officer in Training Nash Ritz responded to the scene where the former chief was accused of crashing his patrol car. The document explains that the 2 officers drove Rivera home, but then he got into his personal car and tried driving off again. Goodfriend was suspended with pay pending this investigation. Rivera pled not guilty in both DWI cases. Let's take a pause now to check on that sunrise commute here at 6:53. This is probably about the time you're maybe getting the rain boots on. If you're of the 9% who answered our What's Up Rock question that you wear rain boots, or at least getting out the door on this very rainy Wednesday. Foggy too. As you can see, we can barely see anything from our traffic cameras, but folks seem safe so far. No major accidents across our main thoroughfares, so just please take some extra time, though, everyone. These weather conditions are a bit tricky. Well, turning back to our headlines, and also today, homeowners in Rochester will have the chance to sit down one-on-one with city employees to talk about concerns about property reassessments. This comes as City Council member Willie Lightfoot is backing a petition asking the city to lay out how they reassessed the homes, calling for a pause on the process as well for up to 2 years. The session for you to questions and answers tonight from 6:30 to 8:30 at the Frederick Douglass R Center on South Avenue. The city of Rochester also preparing for that massive influx of tourists about to come to our region to view that once-in-a-lifetime solar eclipse. Monroe County officials revealed a new public awareness campaign for the big day. They got a number of tips and resources to help city residents both before and after the day of the eclipse. For example, they do warn you that your cell phone service might be disrupted, but not to worry because 911 will still work for your emergencies. Local officials also warn our residents that there will be heavy traffic most likely in the days up to the eclipse, everybody coming in, and then the days after the eclipse as everybody floods out. So they urge everybody avoid driving as much as possible.
This is a historic event. We're so glad to be part of it. Law enforcement, working with our partners, our EMTs, our firefighters. We ask the public to be patient. Get to where you got to go. Watch the event, enjoy the event, and stay. Plan on staying for a couple hours. That's what you can do for the rest of the constituents in our county and all our visitors.
The totality will happen in Rochester around 3:20 p.m. April 8th. And remember, pick up those eclipse glasses. You can even get them at the county parks, art centers, and public libraries. There's so many events here happening, James, for the eclipse. And it's some good advice because you can go early. You said things kind of start around 2.
Yep.
So there's plenty of time to kind of just watch things slowly pile in until 3:20.
Yeah, exactly. And this is exact. This is a precise forecast. We know exactly when this is going to happen because you can forecast out 100 years in advance and have the exact time.
Oh, exactly. Like,
right.
That is just
There's
so
no guessing.
cool.
We're not going to say it might actually be earlier than 3:20. No, that's exactly when totality is. It's not like a weather forecast here.
Yeah, that might be cloudy. Hopefully not looking like today. On the day of that solar eclipse.
That's right. Pouring rain out there for some spots. A lot of us just dealing with light rain. That drizzle, we'll say, for most of the afternoon and into tonight. Tomorrow, sun emerges, mid-40s, and then how about that? Friday looks good before a busy weekend.
Well, certainly busy with that daylight saving. Don't forget that. And thank you for sharing your morning here with us on News 8 at Sunrise, everybody. Next update in 30 minutes.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.